Did a deep earthquake just disturb one of the most dangerous volcanoes on Earth? The Earth moved beneath Italy last night. Not violently, not catastrophically, but deeply. Hundreds of kilometers below the surface. A magnitude 6.0 earthquake struck in the Tyrrhenian Sea just off the coast of southern Italy, only about 40 kilometers from the city of Naples. The event occurred at an extraordinary depth of a roughly 373 kilometers beneath the surface, making it one of the deepest significant earthquakes to strike the region in recent years. Because of that depth, the shaking wasn't destructive, but the energy spread far across Italy, across the crust, and possibly through the underground volcanic system that lies beneath one of the most dangerous regions in Europe. Because setting just outside of Naples are two giants, two volcanoes whose histories are written in fire and ash. The ancient caldera known as Campi Flegrei and infamous Mount Vesuvius, both of them still alive. Both of them closely watched by scientists around the world. And I'm sorry if I said that wrong. And both of them is connected to the underground system that is far more complex than most people realize. At first glance, the earthquake itself doesn't seem alarming. Deep earthquakes like this one typically originate within subducting tectonic plate deep beneath southern Italy. Because they occur so far underground, they often cause little surface damage. In fact, authorities issued only a green alert level, meaning significant destruction was unlikely. Many people barely felt it. Some didn't feel it at all, but deep earthquakes do something interesting. They radiate energy outward over enormous distances. Unlike shallow quakes, which shake violently but locally, deep earthquakes send seismic waves spreading through huge sections of the Earth's crust. And that raises an uncomfortable question. Could these waves disturb nearby volcanic systems? Just west of Naples lies Campi Flegrei, also known as Phlegraean Fields. It isn't a typical volcano, it's something much larger, a super volcano caldera. Instead of a single cone like Mount Vesuvius, Campi Flegrei is a vast volcanic depression stretching across towns, cities, and even parts of the sea. More than 500,000 people live directly inside this volcanic system. And for the past 2 decades, the ground here has been slowly rising. Scientists call this phenomenon bradycism, a gradual swelling of the earth caused by pressure building underground. Since 2005, the land in the region has lifted steadily as a magma and volcanic gases accumulated beneath the surface, and the signs haven't stopped. Over the past several years, researchers have recorded increasing earthquake swarms, rising gas emissions, higher temperatures, and continued ground uplifts. Thousands of small earthquakes have rattled the area as the crust stretches and fractures under pressure. In fact, Campi Flegrei has experienced multiple seismic swarms and moderate earthquakes in recent years, some of the strongest recorded in decades. For scientists monitoring the volcano, these changes indicate something important. The system is restless. The reason Campi Flegrei concerns volcanologists is the location of its magma chamber. Unlike many volcanoes where magma pools deep underground, the magma beneath Campi Flegrei sits relatively close to the surface. Above it lies a fractured caprock, a layer of crust weakened by centuries of volcanic activity. Think of it like a lid under pressure. If enough gas and magma accumulate beneath it, the lid can fail. And when supervolcanoes fail, they do not erupt quietly. They explode. The worst case scenario scientists consider is the VEI-6 eruption. On the Volcanic Explosivity Index, that's the level of eruption capable of ejecting tens of cubic kilometers of ash and magma into the atmosphere. For comparison, the eruption of Mount Pinatubo in 1991 was a VEI-6 event. It cooled global temperatures and filled the sky with ash across much of the planet. Campi Flegrei has produced eruptions at that scale before. Its last eruption was in 1538, forming a cone known as Monte Nuovo. That eruption was relatively small compared to what the system is capable of, but the deeper geological record shows that Campi Flegrei has produced truly massive eruptions in the distant past. This is where speculation begins. Scientists generally agree that deep earthquakes like the recent magnitude 6.0 are unlikely to trigger volcanic eruptions directly. However, seismic waves can sometimes disturb fragile volcanic systems. They can open fractures, shift underground fluids, alter gas pressures, or destabilize magma pathways. And when a volcanic system is already restless, these disturbances can matter. To be clear, Italian volcanologists say there are currently no signs of imminent eruption, but they also acknowledge something important. The pressure beneath Campi Flegrei continues to build. The most unsettling part of the story isn't the earthquake, it's the location, because Campi Flegrei isn't isolated in some remote wilderness. It sits directly beside Naples, one of the most densely populated regions in Europe. More than 3 million people live in the surrounding area. Entire towns are built inside the caldera. Roads, homes, and businesses rest on ground that is slowly rising. A reminder that beneath their feet, the earth is not entirely still. So, did this earthquake awaken something? Probably not. At least, not yet. But events like this remind us of something easy to forget. The ground beneath our cities is not solid and eternal. It moves, it breathes, and sometimes it trembles from dust so far below that we barely understand them. Deep beneath Italy, hundreds of kilometers down, the planet shifted. A ripple of energy spread through the crust, and somewhere beneath the volcanic fields outside Naples, scientists are watching their instruments carefully. Because when the earth whispers, they listen. The question now isn't whether the earth will move again. It always does. The question is when, and what might be waiting beneath the surface when it does. Because beneath the quiet towns of southern Italy, one of the most powerful volcanic systems on Earth is still breathing. Slowly, patiently, and waiting. Night, guys. Bye.